Hi guys, welcome to our future home.
So we've had our ambulance for about a month now, and it has taken long days every day in that month to get us to this point. If you guys hear some noise in the background, that's Greg working on the electrical system. Hopefully it won't be too loud. I wanted to take some time to show you guys what our plans are for the ambulance and how we're going to go about turning it into our dream rig. So let's start right here at the side entry door. So when you first walk into the ambulance, on the right-hand side is going to be a small storage area. And then just to the left of that is going to be our huge, by overlanding standards, Intel Webasto refrigerator. We are super excited. If you guys have been following our channel for a while, you know that we really don't like our current Vitrofrigo refrigerator. So we're really excited to be partnering with Webasto, Intel on this build for one of their top of the line compressor refrigerators. So that will go right here. Now, as you can see, there is a door here to the outside that I currently have open. Some of the storage in this area and behind the refrigerator is going to be accessible from this outside door. And that'll be for things like tools and off-road gear, that kind of stuff.
To the left of the entry door when you come in is going to be the back side of our dinette. Our dinette is going to be raised up. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. But underneath the dinette on the entry side are going to be compartments for storage, especially for things like shoes, sunglasses, keys, all the things that currently in our rig are just laying by the entry door and pose a trip hazard. So in the drawing, behind me, where I'm standing right now, is a ceiling mounted shower curtain. And that is because behind me is where our shower and toilet will be. Our shower is actually going to be right in front of our pass-through to the cab. We stole this idea from our good friend Tom of the Lost Box, which we think is absolutely ingenious, because to leave this little walkway open from the cab for the rare times that you're going between the cab and the camper seemed like a huge waste of space. So we're going to put our shower there, and it's going to double as our walk-through from the pass-through. Putting our shower here is not as simple as just sticking a shower pan on top of the floor. Number one, if you stick a shower pan on the floor here, you're not going to be able to shower without hitting your head, because our box is only 6 feet tall. So this shower pan needs to be recessed into the floor, which brings me to the second reason that we want to recess it into the floor. By doing that, we can continue to have a level walking area. So what we'll do is where this blue box is, we'll actually cut down through the floor, and the shower pan will actually be recessed between the frame rails of the truck. This is a huge project, and it will require Greg to fabricate a custom shower pan. Also accessible from this shower area, move the shower curtain, and you will have access to some more storage in this cabinet. You guys are going to notice throughout this video that we are storage obsessed. It is one of our main priorities, having lots of usable, functional storage. Building our own rig has allowed us to customize the storage to meet our needs exactly. Our toilet will be in this compartment, which we've actually started to build out so that we can put our electrical closet just behind it, and I will show you guys that later in the video. If you're wondering why our toilet closet is not full height, it's because, again, another idea stolen from our friend Tom. Sorry guys, but he's just kind of a genius. The toilet room doesn't have to be full height. If you think about it, when you're on the toilet, all that space above you is just wasted. So we made our toilet room smaller. As you can see here, it's very easy to get on and off the toilet. You don't hit your head, and it's not a problem. That gives us more storage to be had above the toilet. The nice thing about our ceiling mounted shower curtain is not only does it function as a shower curtain for when we're taking a shower, but it also adds some privacy for when you're using the bathroom, because we won't have a door on that compartment. Also, sometimes you just maybe want to get dressed by yourself, not in front of someone else, and you can do that in that area. Also, I wanted to mention, as far as the pass-through goes, there will be a sliding door that closes off the pass-through from the camper. So shifting up from the bathroom, right here we are going to have about a 2.5-foot section that is going to be storage. It's also going to house our microwave and things like that. So this box right here, I'm going to show you when we go on the outside, but this box is actually going to house our water system, or the main components of our water system. It'll have our hot water heater, our water pump, our water filtration system, and our sink will actually be cut into this end of the box because our countertop is going to start about right here. And above our kitchen counter is a huge window. And it is an awesome window. We ordered these windows from overseas. They are not like the windows that you typically see in RVs here. We're really excited about them, hoping that the shipping doesn't delay us too much, but we think it's worth it. These windows tilt out a full 90 degrees, and they have a built-in screen and shade. So we're very excited about them. So huge window over our 5.5-foot kitchen counter. Now for a camper that is only 14 feet long, a 5.5-foot counter is huge. Underneath the counter will be more storage. Now you guys are going to notice that there are no upper cabinets in our design. This is done absolutely on purpose, and I'm going to explain why in just a little bit. I mentioned to you guys before that our dinette is going to be raised up, and there's a very specific reason for that. Actually, two reasons. So if you think about it, when you're sitting in your dinette, all of that space above your head is just wasted. You're not going to put a cabinet right above your head. So what we've done is we've raised up our dinette, and we've gained that space down below for storage. The other reason that we've raised our dinette has to do with our windows. One of the biggest design priorities for me in this camper was windows, natural light, and a beautiful view no matter where I was in the camper. So if I'm standing in the middle of the camper, I want to be able to see out this way or this way without having to do one of these, like I have to in our current camper. So in order to do that, your windows need to be at the same level, obviously. So I told you guys about the big window on this side. Well, over the dinette, next to the dinette, there's going to be an even bigger window. It is almost 6 feet long, which is the size of our dinette. So when I am sitting in my dinette, I will be able to look this way and see out this window, look this way and see out this window. If I am standing anywhere in the camper, I can also see out both windows. And when I'm laying in my bed, which I'll show you in a minute, I'm going to have a great view out this dinette window. Putting in these windows is a big deal. We're cutting the structure of the ambulance, and Greg is going to have to re-weld a new structure in place around the windows. We are going to basically replicate the size of dinette that we have now, which is, again, pretty big because Greg and I both work remotely. So when you have 2 laptops up and notebooks and different things, you really do need a good sized table. Also underneath the dinette will be our diesel air heater. In our current rig, we have a hydronic diesel heater. Right now, we're planning to switch to a diesel air heater, which will heat our cabin air in here. And we're gonna go to a different hot water heater, which I'll talk about once we go outside to look at the water compartment. So this brings me to our sleeping area, which was the most difficult aspect to design of this build. We had kind of unique requirements. We absolutely wanted dedicated work/eating space in the form of a dinette and a permanent bed. We did not want any scenario where we had to convert our dinette into our bed. We had that what feels like forever ago in our Class B van. We never would go back to that. We're living in this full-time, working in it full-time. That setup just doesn't work for us. We also wanted that bigger dinette that I talked about. So that gave us a challenge with the bed in such a small space. Again, this box is 14 by 8 and 6 feet tall. One of our unique requirements for this space was that one of us was able to work at the dinette while the other person was sleeping. And that's because I work on Beijing time teaching kids in China. So while I'm working, Greg is sleeping. So we could not have a design where, for example, the bed would come down from the ceiling and cover the whole dinette. I need at least half of the dinette, one bench seat, and part of the table free in order to work. Also, sometimes Greg wants to take a nap and I don't. So there's just lots of reasons why you don't necessarily want to cover your full dinette with your bed. So what we've come up with, and I can't tell you exactly how it's going to work because we don't know yet until we build it, but the idea that we've come up with is a two-position bed that rolls up in the down position. Our bed will take up one of the dinette bench seats and about a quarter of the table. It'll also take up a little bit of our kitchen counter. The bed is basically going to roll up against the back wall. Hopefully that makes sense. So when the bed rolls up against the back wall, what's going to happen is that we will then have full access to our dinette. So that is what it will look like during the day. In order to accomplish this design with our bed, this back storage box is actually going to get cut down about 2 feet. A little bit of a bummer to lose that storage space on the outside, but definitely worth it to gain this sleeping arrangement on the inside. So this is that outside storage compartment that I just talked about that we'll be cutting down a little bit for our bed area in the back. At the bottom of the storage compartment is going to be one of our 3 water tanks. Why are we having 3 water tanks? Because we want a lot of water capacity. That was one of our main priorities with this build. And we don't have a spot for one giant tank. So we will have 3 30-gallon tanks for a total of 90 gallons. One will be in this compartment, one will be in the compartment just on the other side, and the third one will actually be mounted underneath between the frame rails. Let's go to the next compartment where I'll show you where our water system is going to live. So this will be our water compartment. This is just at the edge of our kitchen area. I showed you guys our countertop and told you that the sink will be cut in. So the sink will be right here, cut down, which is perfect because down below will be our water filtration system, which is a 3-stage filtration with UV filtration for our drinking water. Under that will be our electric hot water heater. Now I mentioned that in our current rig we have a hydronic diesel heater for our air and water. We really loved it and it provided us with instant on-demand hot water, which was awesome, but it was really expensive. With everything we have going on with this build, we decided to go with an electric water heater since we know we'll have the off-grid power to use it. The drawback is that it's not going to be instant. Not quite sure. Oh, look, there's Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hi.
How do you feel about going to non-on-demand hot water? Come tell us. Come closer. Come closer. Join my video.
Well, I think it's not going to be as nice, but at the same time, we have only a limited amount of water, so...
We have 90 gallons.
Yeah, I'm not on the frame.
Oh.
I think it's not going to be as nice, but at the same time, we have only a limited amount of water, so...
I don't think 90 gallons is limited.
Well, it is.
In the overlanding world, it's not.
It's a lot, but still, I think having a smaller tank of water will be...
And isn't it going to be connected to our truck so that it's... Yeah, explain that for us. Here, hold on. Let me... Would you like to mumble?
So, the hot water heater works in 2 ways. The first one is using the coolant from the truck. So when you're running the truck, basically it's going to heat up the coolant, and the coolant will heat up the water in our water tank. The second method is there's a electric heater inside that tank. So flip the switch and it uses power from the batteries, or when you're plugged in the offshore power to heat up your water.
Good job.
I wanted to correct you on something though.
Oh no.
It's a 4-stage water heater. 3 canister.
Oh, 4
and
stage filter, you're right.
4 canister, and 3 canister and 1 UV light.
You're right. It is a 4-stage water filtration, 4 canisters and
3
UV.
canisters.
Sorry, three canisters and a UV filter. But not everything will go through all of those. Mostly our drinking water will go through all of it, and then our other water will go through part of it. So, but we'll explain that more in our water video.
Yep.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Our special guest. Water pump, accumulator tank, water filters, all the switching for the water will be in here. Now, as far as filling our water, we don't want to have to open these doors to fill our water. So we're gonna build in a water filter outlet thing in the door. It is so hot. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I am dripping in sweat. Hopefully it doesn't look too gross. That reminds me of one other thing I haven't mentioned that is really exciting. We are going to have a solar-powered mini-split air conditioner so that when it is hot and humid, like it is right now, we can be nice and cool when we are inside the camper. The inside part of the mini-split will be mounted just above our entry door, and the outside unit will be mounted on our bike rack. So definitely come back to check that part of the build out. This will be nice because we never have to open our door when we're at a purificado out of the country. And also, if we are ever in a situation where we have access to city water or friends' water and we're staying with them, we can hook right up without having to leave a door open and then possibly have, you know, bugs or rodents coming in. Our gray water tank will be mounted underneath the truck, and the 2 tanks that are mounted under the truck will be insulated, and they will also have tank heaters on them. So moving 1 compartment over, we have our electrical closet, which is on the back side of that toilet room that I showed you earlier. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on our electrical system because we're going to do a separate video on that. What I will tell you is that we are once again partnering with Grape Solar. They're providing us with 4 solar panels, so we'll have a total of 1,200 watts of solar on the roof. And super exciting, we are going to be using Tesla Model S battery packs to power this rig. So that's very cool. Greg is like heavy into doing this electrical system right now. So click subscribe and make sure you come back for all of our detailed videos on the electrical. One last thing that I forgot to mention that we're really excited about, right above the head of our bed is going to be a marine skylight. It's actually a marine hatch, an escape hatch. So this is going to be awesome because when we're laying in bed, we'll be able to look up, see the stars. It'll be super cool. It'll also be our access to get on the roof. It'll be very easy to hop up there, watch a sunset, take some pictures. It also means we don't have to have a ladder on the outside, which in itself presents a little bit of some safety issues when you're out of the country. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We obviously have a ton of work ahead of us. I hope you'll subscribe and come back to watch the rest of the build. See you next time. Bye.